Hi, for today's video we have a little bit of a challenge. We are going to use that book that we made in one of my past videos, and the point being that this book is gonna already have something in it, so that way it's not a blank page and we're not scared or intimidated by a blank page. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw the same thing 3 different ways every time I post one of these videos. So for me, I pick something really easy. I just pick a fruit, a pear, and you can pick a fruit too, like an apple or a grape or whatever you want, or a shoe or a tree, whatever it is that you draw best. Use that, because we're going to make this really simple. In this video we're going to use inks and coffee, and maybe the next one we'll use color pencils and coffee, maybe the next one we'll use watercolors and coffee. You get the idea. Very minimal, and always using coffee just to have something in common in every video. And also, since we're drawing the same thing over and over again, we're going to get really good at it, and our imagination is going to expand, and we're going to discover new ways of doing the same thing. We're going to become more creative, and we're going to use less stuff. So this is just proving that less choices and being more minimal in your not your choices, but being more minimal on your supplies will get you to be more creative and think a little bit outside the box. So let's get started, and I hope you like this video. So to start this, we're going to grab our booklet. I'm going to put a link in the description for the video where we made this, and also for all the materials used during this video. So we have acrylic ink in white and black, and we're going to use the number 2 brush and number 8 brush. Any brush will do, just one that's thin and the other one that's a little bit more thick. And we need something to mix our coffee and inks and water. And this is the coffee that I'm using, is instant coffee. So we're just gonna dilute a little bit or dissolve a little bit with water, and trying to open our inks and get our palette ready. We are going to be using as little as possible today, but there's a surprise material that I'm also going to use in this video almost at the end, so stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. So to start, I'm just gonna make a basic pear shape. Like I said, something super easy for you to draw. Nothing complicated, nothing that's gonna make you frustrated. It could be an apple, you know, or a face, or a pen, or a pencil, or just a simple coffee cup. Whatever it is that you feel confident drawing, use that to draw every single time. Now this is starting to look more like a little pear. And I am doing this while I'm doing other chores around my house. So if you have time for it to maybe fold your clothes or throw something in the oven or whatever you're doing, so that this will dry while you do something else. Or you can use one of the heat tools that lots of artists and crafters have. Some people say that they can use a hair dryer. I've used it, but it doesn't work as well as the heat tool. I'm not using any heat tools in this project, but at the end I end up using one because I'm running out of time to pick up my kids from school. So that's why I ended up using it, but and I will list that below for you too, in case you're interested in getting yourself a heat gun. So I'm just trying to put, different shades around, in maybe like a shadow, or just trying to make it look interesting. And I decided to write the word pear around it, just to have a fun, different background. And this is pretty much what I did for the first pear. Let me know what you think. Oh, and if you've ever done this, please let me know in the comments below on how it worked for you. Drawing the same thing multiple times, or many times, or multiple times. Now we have this kind of like checkered square background, and we're going to do another pair. This time it's going to be like playing with what we already have on the page, that being the little squares. So I'm just gonna continue with squares inside the pair and just give it my own little touch of, you know, different, and playing with what I have. I didn't plan any of this. I just try to go with whatever I felt at the moment, going with the flow. So try not to plan it. Just let your hand and your brain do the work at the time that you're doing this. And if you get frustrated and you just want to, you know, throw it all out, don't. Just breathe and let your instinct take over. And if you have to flip the journal or the page, or, you know, just walk out for a little bit and come back to it, try not to put pressure on yourself. This is supposed to be something fun for you to try, something different, something as an experiment. And I bet by the third, fourth video, you're gonna be loving this, because my kids certainly do, and I love it too. So just be patient with yourself and be good to yourself and to your brain, and just let your hand do the thing. Now, I could have left it like the way it was, but I felt like I wanted to add some white inside and bring some of the inside to the outside, to the background. So I decided to play with some white ink and add just some little details inside my pair, and, you know, make kind of like a little fun pattern. And then I felt like the background was a little simple, a little too simple, and the pair was really busy. So I just added some color to the squares on the outside to try to bring some of the inside of the pair out and balance the entire thing. You don't even have to do this. You could have left it the way it was, or I could, but, you know, playing and having fun. By this time I was already in the mood of, you know, doing whatever, because this wasn't going to be hung anywhere. So yeah, I just tried to let go and see the notebook as a fun, playful place. So this is what it looked like. And now for the last one, I just drew a white pair, and I was working on another project while these pairs were drying, and I had some thread around, and I'm like, since it's already out, why not use it? So surprise, surprise, I decided to sew around my pair. Now you don't have to do this. You could have done it with the ink, but I decided to just splatter some coffee and sew around it and do a very, very simple design, but yet it turned out so beautiful. So this is the heat tool that I'm using here because I was running out of time to pick up my kids from school. So I'll link it down below for you. If you have any other heat tools that you can recommend that are good, feel free to leave it in the comments for the rest of the peers that are watching this. So for this, I just decided to put a napkin, the one that I was using to clean up my stuff, underneath between the pair drawing and the other page, so that I wouldn't poke through both of them. I just made a little knot in my thread and I started sewing. Now, I'm not an expert sewer. So if you know a better way of doing this, let me know and share it with the rest of us. But I just go in through the hole behind it, and then go up to the next hole, and then go back to the hole in the front that I just went through. So this is the way I know how to do it, but if there is any other way that it's easier or that won't waste as much thread, please let us know, share with us. I'll be super happy to try something new and learn from you guys as well. So don't worry, I'm not gonna put you through the pain of watching me sew the entire pair. But do know that I ran out of thread, and the only thing I did was grab a piece of tape and tape it to the little piece I had left, and then I just made another knot and continue with the new piece of thread. That's simple, so do not panic if this happens to you. Maybe this looks more artistic if it's not finished, but see, I just had this little piece and I just grab a little piece of tape, painter's tape, which is what I have in my supplies, and I just taped it to the page and moved on. Do you sew on your paper? Do you journal? Do you use anything different in your journals that you would like to share with me? Maybe I could try something new. Please let me know so that I can probably add it to one of my videos. If you use anything not common in your art. So this was it for today. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it fun. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching. This has been fun, and I hope the next video it's something that you'll be waiting for and that you find interesting and maybe surprising. See you in the next one. Bye.